get going, eh?
All right. It was the chance of a lifetime. I mean, I'll never regret it. Never. I mean, I think we're just so lucky that we had the chance to do it.
You can't make 90-degree turns. Oh. Oh. Yeah, we'll never be able to, you know, recreate it, or there's no holiday you can go on that will give you this experience or anything like that. So there's no place you can go to do it again. So it's amazing to be able to have done it.
We are successful. The wood, shingles, nails, they're just things, but the people who we connect it all with, that's the key.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I have come to admire pioneers, and they're my heroes. Never thought about them much before, but they are my heroes today.
The pioneers are gone. Their cabin's empty. It's been 3 months, but already 1,000 fans have made the trek to the Pioneer Quest homestead in Argyle, Manitoba. For $5, Charlie Amy, the farmer who owns this land, takes visitors on a 90-minute tour.
Frank and Alana were here a whole week by themselves, and they were having problems with the animals.
Frank Logie was chosen from hundreds to become a pioneer for a year. He's a millwright by trade. His wife, Alana, a nurse. They left their home in Fergus, Ontario to spend the second year of their marriage living off the land, or at least on it.
We're getting good at catching chickens. They've got out so many times, so just one thing after another.
He's a contractor. She's a dental assistant. Tim and Deanna Treadway left 3 sons and a successful business in Kenora, Ontario to build a home on the prairies, 1870s style. For surviving the year, the television producers would reward each couple with $100,000 Canadian. It would be hard-earned.
Off everybody out there drinking your Tim Hortons. And
If you think it's easy out here, Don Cherry.
And romance.
Yeah.
Remember the people who say
A
that?
couple that said this was romantic.
It was romantic. Do I look?
I'll tell you how romantic it is.
Yeah,
Look at us.
you guys had no clue whatsoever. Good thing you didn't get picked.
This is one of their many smudges that they had going up here. This was their only defense against mosquitoes. They tried all kinds of homemade remedies. Nothing seemed to work.
If it wasn't for the mosquitoes, man, I mean, they just enjoy these prairies, eh? I wonder if it's always like this.
We used to have people guess what it was. So I'd have to sit here and I'd have to grunt and groan, and finally people would catch on what it was. Well, anyway, this was the first toilet.
This is the poop paper I'm cleaning lens with. This is a first for us, isn't it, boys?
Yeah, that's a
Andy Blick, the director, would be there to film it for a television show. But for the pioneers, it was never acting. It was real life. The good moments and the bad.
How do you think we're doing? How are you getting along? As a foursome? Honest. Well, you notice there is some hesitation.
They were strangers who had to set aside their differences to survive together in a harsh land.
I guess someplace under here is our lettuce.
Crops failed. The barn burned. Animals died.
Easy, boys. Easy, boys.
Through runaways, blizzards, and boredom, they kept their sense of humor. Battling the elements with the same courage as the original homesteaders, they stuck it out through the coldest December in 120 years. Then, 340 days later, they exchanged their horses for a limo. The pioneers were free to go.
like, we can do what we want now. So yeah, kind of a sense of freedom after being in, like we say sometimes, the little bubble in here, like the 4-mile radius, and that'll be nice to kind of do our own thing again and have some privacy back.
I see you did that too before.
I get the floss.
A second cup coffee card.
Is this like Christmas or a honeymoon and opening the presents?
It's better than Christmas, I think.
Better than our honeymoon.
Frank!
No, I'm joking. Honeymoon was very special.
I used more water in one bath.
That would be great.
I'm sure. I know I used more water in one bath than I did all year.
Okay, well you do
Easily.
whatever.
What a wonderful waste.
It's very beautiful. But do we fit in here anymore, you know? I don't know. It's going to be very strange. I'm going home back to my home, too, in particular, you know? Back to cooking and cooking on what I have now back home compared to the way we did it out on the homestead. Yeah, it's going to take adjusting. Yeah.
Willow, the homestead cat, will be going back to southern Ontario with Alana and Frank.
We're jobless, homeless, and
I think our mind's still a little bit different. Like,
yeah.
I guess, I mean, nobody could tell that we don't fit in, but inside you don't feel like you do.
I think by just going home we realize everything's over now. We're just back to having to live our normal lives again. So back to the boring grind. So
Never forget it though.
oh, no way. I will remember that forever. That's for sure. No amount of counseling will ever be able to get it out of our minds. It almost seems like it didn't happen. We seem so far away from that now.
Sometimes although it seems like we were just here, sometimes too it seems like a dream. Like it's hard to imagine it happened because it was so different from normal life.
Yeah.
We're sitting here and think that's just something we kind of had a weird dream about one night.
The Treadways head home in style to a small resort town in northern Ontario. Local TV stars who have no idea how popular they've become.
And my emotions are just...
About a half a dozen signs saying, "Welcome home, pioneers."
I've always been proud of Kenora and everything that it had to offer, the lakes, the beauty, and now they're proud of me and they're proud of Deanna and I. It's just such a really wonderful feeling.
Even their dog is famous. But it's Deanna who is returning in triumph as the reluctant settler who stuck it out. She is greeted by doilies, just like the ones she took with her, that convinced Frank she wouldn't last a month.
Deanna won't. Deanna's got her doilies and she's worried about her kitchen being perfect, everything perfect. And if we live like that out here, we'll never get a thing done.
Oh, these are our friends. We love it. This is great. This is just absolutely fantastic.
That was really cool, eh? Because I mean, it wasn't just a crowd of people. They lined up along the driveway, you know. And so as I looked at each one of them, you know, that was really neat. A neat way to do it. Yeah. And did you see the doilies? Hey, Frank! I'll send you a few.
Nice jeans.
Their show may be over, but Frank and Alana are still stars. For a large and loyal audience, they're not just another couple in the mall. They're that young pioneer couple who shared, well, everything on TV.
So we finally yelled at Deanna one day because she kept making comments about us sleeping in, and we kept saying we never sleep in, and she really thinks we sleep in. So finally we said, Deanna, we just have sex every time you go out there and milk the cow. We're off.
Alana, you got something in memory of Daisy? It's definitely not the pioneer look. I don't have a bank card. Thank you, presents.
I just want to say I love your show. You guys are like, you rule. Like, it's a really great experience to live through it while watching you guys, so congratulations. I hope it was a good experience for you.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah.
Well, we enjoyed watching it, so can't wait to see the other episodes, so congratulations. You know, it was great. Good job.
From the isolation of pioneer life to instant celebrity, just days after a warm welcome from family and friends in Fergus, Ontario, they find themselves in Toronto, back on TV.
Wonder where we go.
Are you in culture shock now, being back? It was funny how hard it is, because we said, oh, we'll never get a cell phone or anything again. And even driving here today, we're like, this would be so much easier if we had a cell phone to call ahead and find out where we are, where we're going. You know, you fight it all. Yeah.
It was a whole year of not using shampoo.
Yeah, it's crap. Treatment. I could probably do that. I'd like to do that. Go and do Pioneer for a year. It's nice and healthy, that's for sure. I would love to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest survived a year of roughing it in the Manitoba outback, returned them poison ivy, sore muscles, mosquito bite scars, back problems, you name it, and $100,000. Please welcome from Pioneer Quest, Frank and Alana Logie. Why? My question to you is why? Why did you do it?
I think love for the outdoors, wanting to do something a little crazy, a little more simple.
Yeah, we call that camping. You know, you go for a weekend, you come home, that's it, it's over. And Frank, I also understand that you got poison ivy on your Johnson there.
Yes.
Today on Questionnaire, could you survive as a pioneer for a year? Turn now to Tim and Deanna.
The Treadways are also in the spotlight, using media appearances to promote the pioneer experience and the book they hope to write.
CBC studio.
We became pioneers.
Yeah.
It's been encouraging to have people call us and say, ah, we're watching the movie. And then we realize they're Christians. Wow.
Everyone wants to know more about their extraordinary year, and there will be some tough questions. Each couple wants to keep things positive and respect the other's privacy, but that might get harder to do.
Alana, forgot to mention the book.
Frank and Alana have been offered a large sum of money to let a well-known writer tell their story. He's already recorded 24 hours of audio tape, just talking with them about the first week. The Treadways haven't been approached, and that might explain a reunion of little more than polite handshakes and small talk.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
Tired.
So, how are you guys?
What about you guys?
For now, they are celebrated as Canadian television heroes. Everyone is telling them to cash in before a fickle public forgets them. The pressure is on. The Treadways are at home in their 4,000 square foot log cabin on the lake. They brought back as much as they could from the homestead, even the chickens.
Good morning, you guys. How are you? I guess it's perhaps one remnant of the homestead that we've hung on to, and it's just that clucking just brings back some memories.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here in the presence of these witnesses to witness the execution.
You silly woman!
Sorry. It's a Pioneer laundry. Did you do it by hand? No, I used my machine. Just washing out our woolen socks, and they still smell like the wood stove back in the cabin. Amazing. I guess we must have stunk pretty much when we came out of that cabin like wood.
And there's just so many things that we have. This homestead was so simple that we just never needed all this stuff.
So you're still doing the porridge thing?
Yep. Every day. I just find it the best thing for... I enjoy it. Father, we thank you for this food. In Jesus' name, amen. It's just interesting, just the... You're in a whirl, just a whirlwind, and trying to catch up to the real world, sort of, and yet not wanting to.
One of the first things we did, we came home, we went through our whole house, and realized we had far too much stuff. Gave away everything that we didn't need and had been hanging on to for years. And
She still kept me, though. We still want to maintain that lifestyle a little bit, but it's hard, very hard. We're not so naive that we can just live like a settler in the 21st century. Hello, Sonny. Where would you like the trailer?
Get you to just put it right here for now, and I'll hook on it with my truck.
Uh-huh.
While Tim was away, his sons took over Treadway Construction, and they're still at it. When he can, he'll give Daniel a hand. But for now, he's got a new job as Pioneer Tim, Kenora's hometown hero.
Wow.
Tyler studied pioneers in grade 2, so that's why he was so enthralled. So.
Uh-huh.
What was Tim's famous line?
Mom ain't happy, nobody's happy.
You keep the women happy, you got the men happy. Haven't you heard that saying? If Mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
So that's our new motto in our house.
Oh, and is your husband
Abide by
ready
it?
to kill me? I don't want to make any major decision. I keep telling myself that for at least a year after an experience like this, just to kind of let the volatile emotions and experience that we've gone through battling with the 21st century to see where we end up in our quest for reality.
For Tim and Deanna, Pioneer Quest was just one in a series of adventures. A month before they signed up for the TV series, they were riding around Thailand on a motorcycle. A few years before that, working as missionaries in Brazil. They plan to go to New Zealand next, but for now, they'll ride the Pioneer wave and see where it takes them. Frank and Alana are having a harder time getting their bearings. 8 weeks after leaving the homestead, they are halfway across Ontario on their way back to, wait for it, Manitoba.
Supposed to put in a few extra hours, it means extra cash.
Is that my
Yeah, for tomorrow.
Gas is getting really expensive. If I could only just shove hay in the trunk or something or under the hood, that'd be better. Yeah, we're thinking of just keep going to BC or something, or Alaska.
We're so tempted because we've always wanted to go and live northern BC or do a road trip in Alaska, so this is really tempting. Our car's packed, and Frank even packed his tent and all his camping stuff. It's our clothes and our camping stuff in the car. We realized the most important thing for now is Frank going back to school, which is hard because that's not where we want to be right now. We want to just head up north right now. We regret looking back on the last 2 months in some ways in that we did so many interviews. They were just newspaper interviews and going to Toronto to do talks for people, and then the last couple of weeks lining up our move out here. So we haven't even gone out in our canoe for a couple of days or done anything like that. So it's been busy, and I think we're kind of done now.
It's not like we had a life to go back to because we gave everything up, so we had to start all over again.
Which is hard. A lot of decisions to make. It's hard starting from nothing again, and so it feels really good to have direction now and have some idea where we're going.
So why Manitoba?
This is cheap.
It's cheap and it's friendly. It's got big mosquitoes and lots of rain and horrible winters. But yeah, a lot of people, their reaction was, why Winnipeg? Why Manitoba? Like, are you nuts? And then the next thing they'd always say is, do you have any idea what the winters are like there?
Now we're asking if we know what a Manitoba winter's like. You always freeze your little pinkies when you milk.
Yeah, because you're kind of milking like this.
It's the only fingers that don't ever touch, and so your pinky fingers just end up freezing.
Frank and Alana are camped out at the home of the series director, Andy Blick, as they settle into life in Winnipeg. This morning, Alana starts her new nursing job in the psych ward of a local hospital. She won't have a day off for 9 days.
As you know, we're not having porridge this morning.
I guess Frank has to play wife this morning, so you're off to work.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather be traveling somewhere, but time to get back to normal life. Okay, so I'll wait till 3:45.
Yeah, I should be there though, unless I've...
But if you're not, I'll walk. I'm gonna walk along the path. It's way nicer and it's shorter.
Like before when we worked, I worked days and she worked nights, evenings, and weekends. So we never ever saw each other.
On the homestead, they were always together, and that's what they liked best. Now they will spend long days apart.
I'd like to get an arrangement with sort of...
They'll find ways to make up for it.
Sort of kind of the natural looking ones. Get her this lamb too. She collects lambs.
Frank has signed up for an accelerated program at the University of Manitoba. His aim is a career that will help him find work in remote northern communities, work he can share with Alana.
The nursing, was it orientation?
Okay, do you know student number?
Yeah.
A nursing degree will take 3 long years, including summers. But for Frank, it's the path back to a cabin in the woods. The camera crew is back, but they're not here for the Logies. Frank and Alana have been invited to meet a new group of adventurers at the launch of another TV series, Quest for the Bay. The press release describes 8 new heroes who will eat nothing but pemmican and bannock for the 8 weeks it will take to row 1,200 kilometers in a York boat to Hudson Bay.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm sitting here going, oh, they get to go on an adventure. We're going back to normal life. Although I think we had it easier than they'll have it.
Connor, you! Yeah, give me the rope, I'll lasso it. They're only going for like 8 weeks.
I know, but I think their 8
months.
weeks will be harder. Although, you know what? They do get to sit in a boat on the water.
Yeah, and swim.
Yeah.
They can get clean.
That's true.
Hi,
Jeff Cowley.
Nice to meet you.
Frank Logie, Atlanta Logie.
Hi.
Hello.
Jeff?
Yes.
Nice
Jeff
to meet
Cowley.
you.
Jeff's great-grandfather wrote a book about his experience on the York boat.
Any tips on leaving the 21st century?
Just totally get right into it.
Yeah.
And just totally throw yourself into it and just accept everything.
Rained all last night. It was quite a storm.
So the bottom of our blanket. So we stuck our feet in all night. Wet blanket.
You'll forget about the camera in no time. Don's going to be with you, right? The director of taping. You see him with his camera, and you don't even see the camera anymore. You just see your friend.
Which is nice, but it's bad in a way. That's where you say all these comments and you go, oh, because you forget.
These look like disco pants or something.
You're no longer a heartthrob, honey. Turn around.
I do have to fly before you go to town, too.
Let me see your butt in them. What butt? And it's hard. Once in a while you go, wow, thousands of people are going to see this. That's kind of weird. And
There were some very amusing, spontaneous moments on Pioneer Quest.
well, I was just walking back from deer tracking with Frank and Deanna, and I noticed my husband's been thinking about me. It's pretty sad.
There should be a lot on your guys too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nothing will prepare these rowers for their dose of history. Frank and Alana may be on the sidelines, but like these new adventurers, they too are heading off into the unknown. Back in Kenora, the Treadways are keeping Pioneer Quest alive by selling off parts of the homestead to their fans. They offer willow furniture workshops and pioneer cooking. The knickknacks Tim made to fight winter's boredom on the homestead have become another way of capitalizing on the experience.
Which one would you like? This one okay?
That's fine.
You want it used a little bit?
Sure, that's that's great. That's great.
The Treadways bring a missionary zeal to their newfound career as professional pioneers. The tune Tim penned out on the homestead has become his anthem. The costumes, tools, and crafts are now props to teach school children about pioneer life. Their year on the prairie is something they love to share.
Your optimism is taken over by fear.
Frank and Alana have bought a home in Winnipeg. They'll make it as cozy as that very first house, the one they made together, out on the homestead.
I don't even bother taking all the paint off when I go into work at night. I just hope nobody sees me because I'm gonna get more paint on me again. You know what? It's hilarious at work because people are just catching on now. There were a couple people that knew, and I never said anything, and I just kept saying, well, I moved here a couple weeks ago, so they thought, okay, I'm imagining it. So it's funny, everyone just thinks they know me, but can't figure out from where.
So did you use the money from Pioneer Quest to buy the house?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got to have a really neat year, plus it did help us financially too, so it was good.
Tim and Deanna are doing their, going around doing speaking tours,
Yeah.
and they're making some money on that.
Yeah.
Have you considered doing any of that? Or?
I don't think so. We had both talked about it, and speaking tours isn't really something that, I don't think it's something we'd be so interested in. I think it's something that, I don't know, I think it's more of a personal thing. Some people enjoy stuff like that, and I don't know. We're talked out, I think.
You guys can come in if you want. Leave you out in the rain. Miigwa, not you though. Hey, buddy.
Come here.
I'm gonna invite you in.
Sit.
This is our kitchen. It's a little bigger than our last one. We actually have cupboards and everything now. It's our wood stove. It's a little more efficient though, these new modern wood stoves. They don't even have chimneys. Digital. This is our fridge, as you can see. Instead of having it in the floor now, we've mounted it on the wall, so it's a whole different look.
So how long have you been in the house now?
Just over a week, I guess, week and a half.
Week and a half or something.
It's probably the best feeling in a long time, just being settled in and having our own place. It's pretty nice.
Privacy.
Yeah.
Except for this. They opened the runway back up. Suppose you had 3 months of quietness here.
So this is gonna be...
And this is back to normal.
Oh, wonderful.
City life. They'll make do for now. Frank has a new dog, and Alana has her cat. But they don't plan to have children until Frank finishes school. With all these commitments, the couple have decided not to go through with the book.
Yeah, we've kind of had a change of heart about it, so...
We don't really want to do anything. Like, we're just back to our normal life, and that's all we want to do. We just want to...
Now it's just, it was a good year, but it's done, and... I don't know, I don't want to keep dwelling on it, I guess.
You're moving on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sort of, that was last year, and now we're in this year type thing, so...
I don't know, I just think it's normal to move on, but we're not still there. Things have changed, and it would be weird to be sitting here now and thinking too much, I think, about the year, because things have changed.
You brought her in? Yes. Hello, Daisy.
The Treadways are happy to revisit their pioneer days any chance they get. This time, Daisy, Duke, and Diamond have been booked, along with Tim and Deanna, to open Pioneer Days in Steinbach, Manitoba. It's also a good photo opportunity for their book.
On the back, too. Okay, then just step out of the way. Oh, not you, Deanna. You stay still.
I'm sorry, I thought you said to step out of the way.
Me. He was talking to me.
It's, it's such a slower pace of life that I long for that again. Obviously won't be able to ever recapture that again. But it's just very, very touching to sit here and watch them hook them up because it was our life for a year. And there's something very, very special about living like that.
I think we could do it with our eyes closed on this horse. Every day for a year or so. Do you miss it?
Oh, do I miss it? Yes. Think of it every day. Think of it every day. And life is so fast out here, and everybody is so busy. And that was one thing, we were busy working hard, but we had time for each other, and we had time for some of the important things in life. And I miss that. I miss that. Yeah.
I think the word would be aliens. We don't feel like we belong in the real world, and we wished we were back in our old world.
It's been very positive, and like people say, they come up to us and they say, wow, we went through it with you. We went through it with you this last year. And that's really, I mean, it's just amazing how people say they woke up in the night and they heard the rain and they thought about us. And I mean, it just humbles you to think that, you know, those people really cared about us during that year. We didn't have any idea other than our friends that wrote us. And so it's been very humbling and overwhelming at times.
We just got to know them over the course of the filming, and we just thought they are our people. Yay!
They survived!
Yeah, they survived.
survived.
They put up with the worst mosquitoes, the worst snow, the worst everything. It was incredible.
Yeah.
We
And they want to go
watched-
back and do it too.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. We actually followed them online as well, which was really, really neat.
Deanna got up in the morning to do her chores and was greeted by
Their fans can't get
terrible
enough.
smell in the barn.
So Pioneer Tim's bought himself a new computer with a nifty voice recognition
Daisy was
program
bloating.
to help transform his handwritten diaries into a book.
Because every time Daisy would vomit, Tim would do the same.
Tim, like he says, he can write down the narration, he can write down what happened, but he wants me to write what really happened perhaps in my heart through that experience there on the homestead.
We wanted to give the people the story of how the homestead was built and the hard, the gutsy pioneer spirit that it took to build a homestead, because that's what the pioneers built it on.
There are going to be people that have the expectations they want to hear the dirt.
Yeah, they won't hear it.
Not from us.
Not from us. They won't get it.
That's not the kind of book.
If they want that book, buy Survivor.
Soon, the Pioneer cabins will be moved to the Argyle Museum.
Believe it.
Tim and Deanna will share one last tour of their homestead with Frank and Alana. It's also Old Home Week for the millions of mosquitoes who've missed them.
You shaved your beard!
Yeah, I shaved it off and then I let it grow back. And...
Hi, guys. Hi.
Good. How are you?
One experience, two very different couples. They may not have become family, but they'll always be more than just neighbors.
Shave.
How do you like the mosquitoes?
Oh, they must like you. You got a little blood on them.
They're horrible even
Is
in
it on
Winnipeg.
video?
They're worse this year, I think, than last year. It's far.
It's a good thing we're not here this
Hey, have you got mosquito repellent
The only
on?
reason is
Yeah,
that
they're still all over.
The only reason they're
But
worse
they're not
is 'cause,
biting.
you know, they
Yeah.
haven't had anybody to suck on.
Terrible bugs, eh, Frank?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're really bad. And when you stop moving, they're just all over you. The best thing to do is just move around as much as you can. Never seen such a sight
Wow,
out here.
is it ever grown in?
Yeah, it has.
Look at.
Oh, look at the deer. Right there.
I tell you, that's the last deer I ever drag in. That one they killed, I hated that. It's so lonely back there. It's weird. It seems like about 5 years ago. Like it looks so abandoned. I can't imagine that we spent a year in here, like just looking at it now, because it just looks so unhomey. It's amazing though how this was big enough. I never ever felt like it was too small.
Because our bedroom is this big. Our bedroom is bigger than this.
But I think a cabin just a little bit bigger than this and just as rough and not much more with us, just modern books, I think. And that would be our dream. We still say we want to do that. Like we still want to go and do that again and experience it on our own, I guess, and on a lake.
Yeah.
Isn't it a beautiful spot? It really is. I mean, it's not much of a farm, but it's a beautiful spot for a cabin. Almost exactly a year ago, we moved into the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry you over the threshold.
Oh, this feels very strange, very strange. Hey, somebody washed the floor, I think. Wow. Boy, there's some good memories here. Some good times. I want to move back. I'd love to move back.
Yeah, see if they still fit.
Certainly this was our home and we built it, and
Nobody else will know all the little corners and why certain things are put there and what it's for. And we built a homestead. It wasn't like spending a year out in the bush camping or doing an adventure that was non-related. We had to develop total personality and mindset of a pioneer. Every day we'd eat here and sing in here and
sweep this floor, and it was home, and it was wonderful.
Isn't it cold?
Feels good.
Andy Blick, the series director, was the fifth pioneer.
What's that in your hand, Andy?
I have the essential piece of equipment, and I wouldn't let her have any.
He spent almost as much time on the land as they did.
People ask me whether we ever use this on site. We did, but those guys never did. A lot of people don't believe that, but they never did.
But you know what we used to do was when they got here, they always thought we loved them because we used to hug them. But it was just to try and get some of it on us. So Andy wondered why we're always like this on them.
Man, did they smell good, too.
I don't know how we worked at it.
You know, we'd leave the site, or sometimes I'd leave alone and I'd wonder, you know, how are these guys going to survive this? I mean, look, let's just stand here for a sec. Take a look. And we had bug spray on the crew. They were trying to shoot. It was bad enough for us, but there were lots of times I just wondered, you know, what were we doing with these guys out here? You know, what were we doing? When you guys moved in, you were so excited about getting in the house. We were so excited to be alone in here. That was the best thing. That was really funny. We're not going to go there. We've done that once. We won't go there again.
How did it feel to ask them about sex?
It took me a while. It took me a while. It was the most excitement I've had in a while. Oh my God. My wife's going to be watching this. Let me see. What did I think? I was embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I knew that I wanted to ask that question. So there is sex out on the homestead then?
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah. You don't find it in the tent, in the wagon, or in the trees, or someplace.
We already christened this house a long time ago.
We did. The roof wasn't even on it yet.
I had a lot of tea and laughter in this cabin. A lot of funny things happened here, and I loved it for all the stress and you know, the sadness and stuff that happened here. It was.
He's too caring. You know, we'd be having a crisis or something, and you'd stop because you know, we didn't need the camera in our face to be dealing with something. So.
Yeah, Andy was always really respectful of that.
Yeah, he was like.
Or I guess he could have got a couple more better TV moments.
I mean, there were times I felt really stressed, but it was more, you know, it was like working with friends. It was it was just a really unique kind of arrangement, emotional arrangement, I still feel, although we haven't had that much contact, I still feel really close to them, and Tim and Deanna.
We do. We miss this guy. We really do. He became, first of all, he was our link to the outside world in some sense, and that he came from the outside world to us. For me, that's how I felt about it. I didn't think about a movie as much as I was just talking to you.
Would you do it again? You know,
in a minute.
No, but even though
you
know, like your strengths and weaknesses were on TV.
Yeah, we showed our weaknesses.
Yeah, of course we don't like people to see the weak side of you. And you didn't think about that when we were obviously applying for this stupid job. You know, you didn't think about that. You just thought you were going to do the work and they would document it. I didn't think I didn't think about our characteristics that you would capture, and you could either do with it what you wanted to. We did give a lot to you, and now in retrospect, I think I'd be much more afraid now.
Yeah, what would you tell someone who's going to do it?
Be on guard.
See, yeah.
Yes, I would.
It's true.
And it made
Yeah.
us be vulnerable.
It's been 5 months since Frank and Alana left the 1870s in the past.
Tell me about your future.
About our future? Do we know about our future?
Well, I decided not to go to school. I ended up stopped going to school because we found we were never seeing each other. So between going to school and working and doing homework and then Alana working, we were never together. So I stopped going, and I was working part-time at Home Depot, and I was going to start there full-time, and then we're able to spend lots of time together, and it's a lot more relaxing, and there's no stress or anything else. So it's a lot better for us.
It's kind of defeating our purpose of coming out of there and realizing the most important thing was seeing each other all the time. And we weren't seeing each other. Yeah. Maybe one evening a week, and then Frank would feel guilty because he had homework to do.
So tell me a little bit about your job. What's fun about it?
It's fun. I sell tools all day. I get to play with all those tools I wish I had last year, so it's good.
I thought it was neat because even we went last night to a guy that Frank's worked with, to his house for dinner, and his wife said, I thought it was so cute. Frank came over last week and he said he was quitting school because he couldn't stand not seeing you. And she thought it was so nice. She said he just seemed so desperate about it. So I thought, oh,
desperate,
that's cute.
that's the word.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the most important thing. And I think just to live, you know, let's not be workaholics, and you got to do what you enjoy. And I think not caring what other people think too, like not doing what's normal or what looks like the good thing to do, you know? I mean, that was pretty scary, giving everything up and going there, not knowing if it was going to work out. And now knowing we can make kind of odd decisions again, and we know it's going to work out. We know it's the right thing.
Tim and Deanna have asked their agent to give them a few days off from their busy schedule. They plan to scale back to 9 speaking engagements a week instead of dozens. But even out here, their pioneer life is not far behind. It's Thanksgiving, and they've revived the family moose hunt with their son, Daniel.
It's important to just keep that calmness in our life.
But coming out here is certainly doing it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Oh man, this is wonderful. And we haven't had a chance to come out here very often. And this is wonderful.
Things are getting back to normal. But they're not quite ready to give up being Pioneer Tim and Pioneer Deanna.
Our mindset went back 125 years for a whole year. And now all of a sudden to come back into the 21st century, it's taking time. We have been overseas many, many times, come back and had culture shock. It took a month or two to get over that, but now we've been out 5 months, and I still feel like perhaps an alien. I don't belong to this 21st century like I used to, and what we had back there was something unreal. We're a couple of Kenora Hicks that got chosen.
Yeah, and you know, we really feel privileged to have gotten
Very.
chosen.
I didn't think I'd say that, but I feel very privileged as, in retrospect, you know, wow, we did get chosen, and we were lucky.
I think the very best part, though, was the way that it drew us closest, really, really close together.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave us the opportunity of really seeing how a close relationship with your spouse can feel. And you don't want it to leave.
On sound, Van Gogh. On, what was it again? Costume. A little back right.
Post project coordinator.
Okay.
Now that means you're leaving and you're going to come back when it's done.
And on camera.
Being rescued by the settlers yet again. Look at us. It's November the
6th. This sucks.
This is the last day of the wettest summer I can remember.
How do you feel, Andy?
How do I feel?
How do you feel right now?
Are you bitter? The warm and fuzzy feeling.
I feel like a settler.
I just hope I don't get eaten for dinner tonight, that's all.
How many dollars would it take for you to do this, sir?
More than $1 million.